I think I realized why it's so hard to modernize Tom and Jerry. They're silent protagonists dealing in anarchic slapstick. Not much room for complexity in today's story-driven era. You have to load them with plenty of talkative characters to keep the kiddies' interest, which is why we get all these rush job direct-to-video movies. There's just so many of them for me to view, so I'll only talk about the two theatrical Tom and Jerry films today. Tom and Jerry the movie from 1992 was a film I took a couple breaks from watching. At first, I thought it was humdrum, but as it went on, I got more frustrated. There's so many questions I feel will never be answered, but I'll ask them anyway. What happened to Tom's original owners? They only show up in the beginning and don't even bother to look for him at any point. In fact, their house gets demolished for some reason. I don't know, gentrification? What compelled the gay-seeking dog to have Tom and Jerry be friends? Surviving the alley cats entails you be chums with your natural prey? Would have been funnier if he was the mastermind behind this. Yeah, he wanted the money and knew Tom and Jerry would lead him right to the girl. Why do Aunt Fig and Lickboot need the girl's inheritance? Aunt Fig is already living in a mansion. It ain't like her fat ass needs any more ducats. And she offers $1 million reward? Bitch, you could go bigger than that. Robin is literally the heiress to a billionaire's fortune. Last point, who names a goddamn cabin after their kid? Robin's dad is literally Dollar Tree Indiana Jones, and he didn't have the foresight to notice that would paint a huge target on his daughter's back. Even after all I have said, take away the fact that this is a musical, that Tom and Jerry talk, and what you get is a film trying so hard to be a Disney Don Bluth picture. I mean, what was the budget? $3.5 million. That's peanuts. Now let's see what the Rescuers Down Under was, since that's what you could compare this to. $47.4 million. I know it's unfair. The Tom and Jerry movie's animation fluctuates from being half decent to being above the quality of a Saturday morning cartoon. You wouldn't be blamed for thinking this went straight to VHS, but no, this was initially released at multiplexes. Another thing, this film uses Tom and Jerry as window dressing and tries to focus on the other characters. It's more or less Robin's film. Her mom is dead and she doesn't know if her dad is too. Aunt Fig, along with her lawyer Lickboot, are, like I mentioned, keeping her locked up so they can claim her inheritance because you've got to have money. There's Dr. Applecheeks. He sells dogs for exorbitant prices on the black market. Not like that matters when he can get $1 million smackaroos from the girl. And there's Captain Kitty and his sentient hand puppet that he uses for mass debating. He's just as rotten as the rest. Actually, this film is really vital in regards to teaching kids about stranger danger. Too bad what we get are one-dimensional characters that overshadow the ones getting top billing. For that, I don't recommend this. Traditional animation cannot make everything gold when you're given a lousy script. Now we move on to Tom and Jerry the movie from 2021. And I'll just say that this one was better because it had more of a focus on slapstick and comedy. None of that whimsical House of Mouse garbage. It's still not a good movie, which I expected. The plot is spectacularly lame. Tom and Jerry get into mischief while some blonde bimbo works at a hotel during the wedding of two rich assholes. Riveting. Well, at least it's not Tom and Jerry enter the real world from a dimensional merge. I don't know. Everything about this screams the bare fucking minimum. The humans try to be funny, but they come off as stilted. Like, why do they have to whisper half of their lines? That's not goofy. That's irritating. I can barely fucking hear them at points. At least Tom and Jerry don't talk and remain rivals. Plus, more of the characters from the cartoons like Spike and Butch the Cat show up. They're voiced by celebrities, so it's pretty jarring. Don't worry. Tom and Jerry themselves don't talk. They'll never make that same mistake again. Everyone else talking doesn't make it better, which is a problem I mentioned earlier with the direct-to-video movies, so it's not an original sin. There's some callbacks to the theatrical shorts, which I found to be cute, not overbearing. I won't say what they are, though. The animation, I don't think they do a convincing job blending the 3D with live action. CG is used more as a tool than a prop, so you don't see the humans try to break the suspense suspension of disbelief. I will say this, making them look more hand-drawn is way better than making them realistic. At no point was Tom gonna bite my balls and say they taste salty. Do I recommend this? I don't know. A horribly bad movie like the 90s one sticks in your mind, but a boring one like this can be way worse because it's way harder to talk about. I'd say yeah, but only if you're curious. Okay, so that was a thing. I'm Jacob, and if you see a gay singing dog, beat the ever-loving shit out of it. Deuces!